Well, apparently breaking news happens when I'm working Florida Everglades games because we are live with some breaking news from Los Angeles tonight. Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan coach, is heading back to the NFL and will become the LA Charger head coach. And I'm here to break it down live this Wednesday night, almost Thursday morning. Before I tell you what I think about the Jim Harbaugh news, please subscribe, like, and share the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page. See all my content, live streams. It's championship weekend, so there'll be more content. Also, check out the Big Beat podcast for the audio listeners, Spotify and Apple. So, obviously, the coaching news happened. We've heard guys taking interviews for multiple weeks now. They've been coaching hires in Tennessee with Brian Callahan, coaching with New England, the Raiders. But Jim Harbaugh is the biggest coaching hire, and frankly, for the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh feels like the only coach the both should have gone after, because Jim Harbaugh finally won his national championship at his own man. He did everything he won, but there's something missing on Jim Harbaugh's resume, and that's a Super Bowl. You look at the Michigan team this year. I mean, yeah, we look at the controversy, with ball missing 16, but that Michigan team is one of the best teams, not just in Michigan history or Big Ten history, but that most complete teams we've seen in college football. That Michigan team is not going to be that great with 18, 20 guys leaving. And college football is a different game, with the NIL, transfer portal. Jay Wright left Villanova. Coach K left Duke. Roy Williams left North Carolina men's basketball. Nick Saban left Alabama and retired from Alabama. I think college football and college sports in general will exhaust coaches because in college football, there's not one recruiting cycle anymore, but there's two. Used to, you would only have to worry about guys guys on National Signing Day. Now it's year round because guys can sign in December, go through spring ball, and then you've got the next group of guys in February, plus NIL transfer portal. So then if my coach leaves, I'm not getting enough PT. Guess what? I'm out the door. And with the NCAA investigation, Jim Harbaugh probably figures this is my last opportunity in the NFL. And for the Chargers, this is an incredible hire because this team needed a facelift. The Chargers have been a mockery of inconsistency, futility, underachievement, and disappointing playoff or near playoff losses. I mean, last season's wild card collapse against the Jacksonville Jaguars was anemic. I mean, how Brandon Staley survived that is beyond me. But Jim Harbaugh's going to reboot everything. He'll bring a tenacity, he'll bring a toughness, might rub people the wrong way, but Jim Harbaugh's a winner. I mean, when Harbaugh was with the 49ers, San Francisco went to 3 straight NFC title games with Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick. Harbaugh went 44-19-1. 44-19-1. 44-19-1. Not bad. And for Harbaugh, He played quarterback. Oddly enough, Harbaugh's last game was with the Chargers in 2000. But in many ways, I feel like Jim Harbaugh will have an advantage over the NFL draft, much like Pete Carroll did with the Seattle Seahawks. Because guess what Harbaugh's done? He's either recruited these guys, played, coach these guys, coached against them, or maybe recruited, scouted some of these guys. So he'll know the NFL draft. The Chargers, yeah, LA's 40 something million over the cap, but teams can finagle the cap. Justin Herbert's contract doesn't really kick in until next year. So the Chargers have the number 5 pick. And lucky for the Bulls, LA's in a great position to fix its problems in the draft. Because Tom Telesco, who was the former GM, relieved of his duties a few months ago, did not leave the cupboard bare for Harbaugh. I mean, Justin Herbert's a top 5 or 6 quarterback. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, a great a great left tackle in Rashawn Slater. Pass rushers, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, if both those guys are back. And with a top 5 pick, the Chargers don't need a quarterback, so they don't have to. So LA doesn't have to worry about taking Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jane Daniels, or Michael Penix. Don't need a left tackle, so they don't have to worry about getting the the tackles from Penn State and Notre Dame. I mean, right now, if the Chargers stick that 5, probably Brock Bowers would be the pick because assuming Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jane Daniels go 1, 2, 3, and then the Cardinals take Marvin Harrison, the Bolts could take Brock Bowers or potentially even move back, still get Brock Bowers and get more draft picks. And with Harbaugh, with Harbaugh, I have a feeling Jesse Minter is going to be his defensive coordinator. We saw what he did at Michigan this year. Michigan's defense was so feisty, so difficult to play against. You could not move the ball in Michigan. I mean, we look at what the Ravens defense is with Mike McDonald coaching in Baltimore this year. That guy should be a head coach. How that guy's still a DC in Baltimore is beyond me because he should be a head coach eventually. And for Michigan, I mean, I know everyone will say, what about Sherman Moore, who was the interim head coach when Harbaugh served his suspensions, especially for I think for like 3 or 4 games. But, I'm not sure Moore's ready and Moore's capable of replacing Harbaugh because you think, well, I'll give it to the understudy because he coached under Harbaugh. Well, New England's taking that gamble with Jared Mayo, thinking, oh, he played and coached under Bill Belichick, so he'll be the next Bill Belichick. This guy coached with Jim Harbaugh, he'll be in the next great offensive mind in college football. Doesn't necessarily work. I mean, Alabama went forever replacing Bear Bryant. Michigan went through multiple coaches replacing Lloyd Cole. I'm not sure. You could say in many ways USC has still, maybe now with Lincoln Riley, still not figured out, figure out the Pete Carroll situation. At least with Alabama this time, the Tide didn't go after Nick Saban disciple. They got maybe the best young offensive mind in college football in Kalen DeBoer, who might not be Saban's recruiting. Okay, nobody will be Saban's recruiting, but Kalen DeBoer can maybe usher in the next great Alabama run. As for Harbaugh, he'll bring a couple coaches. I wouldn't be surprised if the strength coach is there because seemingly the Chargers always suffer with injuries. Like Mike Williams always gets hurt. Derwin James always gets hurt. Joey Bosa. Keenan Allen was still fighting through injuries. Austin Eckler. But this Georgia team could look vastly different. I mean, Herbert looks great. But Austin Eckler's a free agent. Mike Williams is coming off a knee injury. Keenan Allen's not getting any younger. I mean, Joey Bosa is coming off, a Liz Frank injury. Khalil Mack's coming off another big year, but he's getting up in age. Big cap hit, so probably gone. Same thing with Derwin James. I mean, but Chargers are in an interesting position. You look at the AFC West now with 3 Super Bowl head coaches, Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, and Antonio Pierce. I didn't like the Antonio Pierce hiring. Now I really don't like him because he's the only defensive-minded coach with 3 offensive-minded coaches, all with Super Bowls or Super Bowl appearances. So, plus, if you look at the Chargers' schedule next year, remember the Harbaugh Super Bowl in New Orleans? Well, next year, the Ravens play the Chargers at SoFi Stadium. So we're going to get a Harbaugh Bowl this year. I mean, Jim Harbaugh won the national championship in Michigan. Maybe John Harbaugh will win will win the Super Bowl with the Ravens. So I think Jim will work wonders with Justin Herbert because for the first time, Justin Herbert's got a quality head coach, somebody who's an offense coach, tough, but is a winner. And with Justin Herbert, this guy was a 4.0 student in college. He will fit in just fine with Harbaugh. And we've seen the Chargers not fulfill expectations. Like this year, I picked the Chargers to win the AFC. And then go well. That did not go well. Stupid me. But in many ways, when you get the right coach, it's a different circumstance. I mean, Dan Campbell might be biting kneecaps, but you know what his style is going to be. The Lions will be aggressive, try and run the ball, and be in your face. Kyle Shanahan will try and create all kinds of mismatch. Andy Reid's the best offensive mind in football. And then John Harbaugh feels old school and new school because the Ravens play a physical brand and literally play great defense. And you're going to see that same style with the Chargers. Even a tough AFC, even with Mahomes and Allen, Burrow, Trevor, CJ Stroud, the Chargers have a really good head coach, a really good quarterback, and a team capable of making a deep playoff run again. And in LA, guess what you need? Stalls. The Los Angeles Dodgers added Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto from Japan. The Lakers have got LeBron, Anthony Davis. The Clippers moving into a new building. Kawhi, Paul George. Rams, well, let's see. Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Puka, Oh, and Sean McVay. The Chargers need somebody. Well, Jim Harbaugh is that somebody. And yeah, there will probably be more season ticket holders because Harbaugh's such a big name. I mean, will the Chargers ever be quite the same as in San Diego? No, but there might not be quite as many visiting fans from outside Southern California at SoFi this season. And Harbaugh's looking to join a list with Pete Carroll, Barry Switzer, and Jimmy Johnson as the only coaches with national championships in college and Super Bowl rings in the NFL. Of course, Barry Switzer at Oklahoma and with the Cowboys, Jimmy Johnson with the U and Cowboys, Pete with USC and the Seahawks. So Jim Harbaugh's got the natty at Michigan. Maybe he'll get the Super Bowl with Herbert because the Bolts are going to be fun to see in 2024. So thanks for tuning into the stream. It's 11:32 at night. Didn't think I'd be streaming late night, but big news coming from Inglewood, California. This is the Big D signing off.